So guys, this video is sponsored by PlayStation.Nintendo Games. If you are looking for buying a digital game, then you should definitely check out their page, because whenever you buy a single digital game with them, they give you a bunch of free extra digital games for the same price. And for Nintendo players, it's a blessing because you get a couple of games at the price of one. So do check their page out. The link will be in the description.
So hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at my all-time favorite Nintendo Switch game, which is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm sure most of the Nintendo Switch owners have either heard or played this game. This has been my all-time favorite game for a while. In fact, this is also one of my all-time favorite role-playing games. Legend of Zelda for me has just a very special place in my heart because I spent almost 200 plus hours playing this game, and I was playing this when I was in college, so I had a lot of free time in my hands. And playing this at that point of time was really, really, really engaging, and it was like it has a very different kind of way to approach a story. You can walk into any direction, and the story will still continue the way it is supposed to. If anyone who owns a Nintendo Switch or a Switch Lite hasn't played Breath of the Wild, I will highly recommend them playing this, especially if you like story driven role playing games. This and The Witcher 3, I think both are a must play on the Nintendo Switch. Witcher 3, I'll say if you have another console, you can still play it on the other console, but I personally have finished it on Nintendo itself, and I didn't really have any problem, and I had a great time with it. With Breath of the Wild 2 being showcased, kind of showcased in the Nintendo Direct, and they saying that it'll come out next year. I think that's one of the games which can actually make me buy another Nintendo Switch console just to play that game. One complaint that I've always had in Breath of the Wild is that the whole map is quite empty. So, for example, right now we are going randomly to some place, and this place doesn't really seem lived in or very populated, so it feels quite empty. So, I hope in Breath of the Wild, they do have something or someone walking around. Also, I'm very interested about what story they're going to continue with in Breath of the Wild 2, because the story which they continued in Hyrule Warriors was really, it was of course a prequel, but it was still very different than the Breath of the Wild ending, because at the end everything is fine and everyone is okay in Hyrule Warriors, and they just show that time travel thing. So I think they are creating a different kind of timelines like Marvel does, and then we are supposed to have different timelines for Zelda as well. Another thing that about Breath of the Wild which is really amazing, the combat in this game is very basic, to be honest. Although the weapon system in this game, the leveling of this or weapons in this game as such do not really exist. There is definitely durability, but there is no such classes of weapon which are stronger or less powerful or there are of course more powerful weapons, but until you get the master sword, which by the way does not break, but again it still needs time to recharge itself. So big. That's what she said. Another thing that I really like about this game is the cooking method and the cooking style, and there are so many recipes, and there's so much that you can do with just cooking. You can increase your stats, just really a nice addition to have. Let's throw this random ingredients in the pan and see what we get.